Okay, so I was asked this week's Parshas Vayeshev. Someone asked me Shabbos that I should. He asked me. I told him what I do. He's a therapist. And he asked me I should write why. How come Yaakov gave preference to Yosef? Didn't he know that it's gonna hurt the other siblings? It's gonna kill the whole family. Giving someone so much extra attention causes conflict because not. I don't want to diss the Shutim or anything, the brothers, because you have it in most family dynamics. The younger ones, when they get preference, the older ones like, hey, there was just now a episode on one of these podcasts where a woman said she struggled a lot because she was 9 out of 10, I think it was, and she moved her sleeves up to her elbow, and that's why her siblings, her father is a very nice person, but she got a lot of flack from her siblings because she wasn't conforming the way we had to. Why shouldn't you have to? So we could think that it's a big question. People, the Gemara the Gemara says that we learn from this not to give preference for one child over the others. So the Gemara says, but still we have to be able to wrap our heads around how come Yaakov did something that seems so detrimental.
Right? Didn't they know? Did he know this could happen?
Right? Didn't he know that if you give one child so much extra attention, it's gonna exactly.
Exactly. Okay.
So first we have to look into the pusik of a few parshas ago, where it says, "Vayeshev Yitzchak es Esav ketzayed b'fiv." That's what it says. I'm up to here. Vayeshev Yitzchak ketzayed b'fiv, and then it says further, "V'rivka hevas as Yaakov." So we see in the pusik already how Yitzchak went about loving Esav, and how Rivka went about loving Yaakov. Yitzchak had a reason why. He loved Esav not just because, he loved Esav because he fibbed him, it's called fib. He smoothed over the truth or found a way to sound truthful, and Yitzchak, we're not going to say he fell for it. That was his method of parenting, right? It doesn't matter, we could go into that part and discuss how that's a great parenting method, but still
it's not literal that he fed him. It's not like you're saying it's...
The Mefarshim explained that Ketayed B'fiv was that he trapped him with his words. I think with the Mefarshim, maybe Rashi says, he asked him if he has to maser salt.
Right, that was one of the...
So he sounds very holy, very pious. Okay. Over here, by Yaakov, it says also, V'yisruel uhav es Yosef. So it says first Yisruel, and then it's Uhav. It's not Vayehav. It's not illusion of Yehav is like it's more like a. I'm not gonna say forced. It's a made love. Uhav is just the simple illusion, giving. It's the basic love is giving, is Uhav. Vayehav is like more like forced. Vayehav, he had to give love. Vayehav. Does that make sense? A little bit. It sounds more, and also the Vayehav came before. Vayehav Yitzchak came before versus V'yisruel Uhav. First it came a sense of Yisro is also the more, let's quote unquote, healthy version of Yaakov. Yaakov is the pain version. Then he got the bracha that he's going to be Yisro. So it didn't come from a place of Yaakov. It came from a place of Yisro. Now, Kiben Zekinam Hiloi, because there is a reason, but the reason is Kiben Zekinam Hiloi. Rashi says Barchakem here. Ben Zekinam means he's Barchakem. He was a very smart kid. Yosef was a very smart kid, and the Mefarshim say that Yaakov gave Yosef all of the Torah that he learned by Shem Va'ever, he gave to Yosef, not to the other siblings. Because we find that sometimes the quote unquote interesting children, they're much more. They want to know more. They're interesting because they have a yearning to know everything. They're more colorful, not because they want to color outside the box, because they attach to every color. They actually want to understand every color, right? It's not just black and white and the Gangavater. They want to have much deeper meaning. So an unhealthy relationship, let's go back. If it would have been unhealthy, right? unhealthy, meaning loving one child more than loving the others. When it comes from an unhealthy place, it's more manipulative. It's dysfunctional. It's favoritism. Favoritism is very unhealthy. There's a chosen child. The child feels like he stole something. The siblings, there's like a rivalry going on about that love, and it's always to make. It's meant to make a rivalry. It's designed to, and nobody feels love. If that would have been the truth, Yosef wouldn't be able to survive the way he survived, as we're going to see, because he would have been broken. Mm-hmm. He was a trophy child. As soon as Yaakov is not there, Yosef couldn't perform it. It was all performance. But it wasn't like that. It wasn't just a performance. It wasn't just Yaakov giving love to spite the others, right? Or for his own sake. Sometimes a favorite child is just to validate the father. But also, when the father is not there, the child doesn't have to perform, right? There's this thing I heard from a therapist. He spoke to a father, and one son was shaving his beard from Monroe, like everybody else is like has long. One child shaves his beard, so the father says, "I can't. How could I give him unconditional love?" What's the problem? If I show that I love this kid just like all the others, they're all gonna shave their beards. So the therapist told him, "Oy vavoy, if all of them show up to your levaya without beards." Right? The only reason why they're performing is because you're love. So then Yosef wouldn't be able to survive. But the Pusik says no, but Yosef ish matzliach. Yosef is ish matzliach no matter where. Ish matzliach. In those days, there was no way back. How would he come back? How would he find his parents? He can't find his parents. He's done. His parents could move to Churan and to Vayeshev on a blink of an eye. He could never find them. Besides, he's enslaved. Besides, what do you mean, Ish Matzliach? Should be depressed, maybe kill himself, or I don't know, unalive. It doesn't make sense. I even say, it says that the Medunim, they had pink, they had besumim. Usually they carry things that stink. Now they had besumim. I think they had whatever. For Yosef, it was always smelling besumim. He was in a mode of whatever happens. By him it's raik. By him there's no such a thing as a bad day. Not because bad days don't exist, but because he was so loved. No, it's not a madrig. It's his father instilled in him something called the 4 S's. The 4 S's is safe, secure, seen, and soothed. That's
Slowly.
the 4 S's. Safe, secure, seen, and soothed. Where is it? The 4 S's. Yeah, safe, secure, seen, and soothed. So that's if someone asks what's love, how do you give love? Love is varmkeit, really warmth. That's love. But to give a child a sense that you love them, how do you give them in a physical term? Safety. You tell them, I'm going to always keep you safe. Security means there's a sense of security that I'm going to make sure that you're always... Security means if you're going to school, I'm not going to mock your Mora. Right? Because as soon as you mock my Mora, that she's not teaching well, then you're pulling the rug under the entire system. Mm-hmm. So they don't feel secure when they go to school. So safety is physical safety. Security means wherever they are, you're not pulling the rug under them. They're in a secure situation, right? I have your best interest. That's security. Seen is I see you. I see you for who you are. I know which color you like. Not now every time I see something I'm gonna get it for you, but I know you. I see you, who you are. And soothe is when the easy form of soothe is if something happens, you say, I'm sorry that happened, instead of saying I told you so. Right? That's the easy way of soothe. But soothe could be, over here, soothe is more like giving over your inner secrets, right? The child is worried, he wants more knowledge, he wants to know, he's like in a world of, I know what's gonna happen, and you give him, Shefla, I'm gonna teach you, right? So that's security, but it's also I'm soothing your uncertainty, right? So over here we see Yaakov gave him safety because seen is Uavas Yosef. He loved him. He felt seen, right? I think Right. That's what safe is. He gave him the ksonas pasam. He felt safe to be himself. Right? If a child wants a tie-dye shirt and you get him the tie-dye shirt, that's the child being safe in showing off who he is really.
They be like tied together, seen sued. A lot of them, they seem like some of the principles kind of like, you could like with the son's passive, like right, he was seen, but he also maybe he was
Could be.
also
Yeah.
soothing.
Yeah, no problem.
Or-
They could overlap.
They could overlap.
Of course. And then he was soothed by giving over his Torah, and then he felt secure. That's open mamash in the pusik. It says, when Yosef said his dreams, Yaakov sat quietly, and he kept it safe. He's like, I see you. I'm gonna, let's see what's gonna happen, right? He didn't have to say it. He felt secure in his dream. He felt secure in his aspirations. And now we understand why, we mentioned it earlier, why when he went with the Menyunim, he went into Mitzrayim, he went into the cellar, into prison, and all along, and of course the Vayemoim, right, Aishas Potiphar, and he saw the Yoiknav Shalom, he saw his father. Why did he see his father? He knew his father is with him no matter what. He's never going to see his father. Parshas. It's impossible. It's impossible to see his father. But he saw his father because he had his father with him all along. Because his father saw him, not to spite the brothers, not to control or manipulate anything. His father gave everyone what they needed. They just didn't need more. Right? Or the Pusik doesn't go out to mention what they got. The fact that they were jealous. Siblings get jealous when one gets more, especially in families where there's a few generations of kids. You ever saw those? The younger ones will always, they're Eineklach, right?
That's what they make.
That's the Benzakina.
Right.
They get much more. They already get a fancy shtramel by the chasana. They get, right? They get a band. They get whatever they want. Why? Because whatever. It's over. Life is over. So the older, like, hello, in my days we weren't watching videos at home all day, and we didn't go chalamoit, whatever, right?
Fancy trips and
Exactly, right?
Yeah,
So the older ones are always like, hello, just shape up and behave. So that's the message. When a child feels real love, that child, no matter in which pit, no matter where he ends up, he always believes this. He always remembers his father saw his light. His father saw him, and then he could always shine.